Let's bring in Rich Eisen from the NFL Network, NFL Game Day Morning, and the Rich Eisen podcast on the NFL Network. Good Yontif, Rich.
Thank you very much. I was about to say that your segue was, speaking of Jews, let's go to that now.
Much nachas.
Much nachas. But, Dan, what you do at a Hanukkah party is what you do at any old party, which was, is just
keg stands?
No, what you do is what you do, Dan, which is you're the life of the party. You enjoy your good time. You suss out the situation, and about a half an hour before you think it's over, you ghost, leave the place.
That is true.
And we all look around and say, what happened to Dan?
My nickname in college was Poof because I disappeared.
Yes.
I would just go,
yes.
They'd go, where'd he go? Poof, disappeared. Well,
You are a world-class ghoster.
I hate saying goodbye.
Well, that's odd because we have the Jewish goodbye, as you know, which takes 15 minutes.
But that's why I don't like goodbyes.
Is that right?
Yeah, because then I don't know. I just don't like doing it because then you have to say goodbye to everybody. I'd rather not say goodbye to anybody.
It's not the gum rule. You don't have to have a goodbye for everybody, Dan. It's just people that just a little bit of selected people. You're not disappointing people by saying goodbye to them.
Did you watch the game last night?
Of course.
Okay.
Yes. I watched the pregame.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the umbrella.
Yeah.
It's umbrella gate.
How does that go down? Somebody runs it out to you?
Okay.
Because you didn't call for it, right?
No, I did not. I didn't, go bullpen, bring in an umbrella. What happened was you could see the rain coming. You could see the clouds forming, and I thought maybe we'll get out just in time.
Yeah.
And then there started to be some drops there. And it was raining harder than what it probably showed on TV. And they just said, you know what, let's bring out the umbrellas there. And at first we said, no, we can get through this. And then it started to come down even harder. And then the wind started to pick up. And then I was worried about my hair. So we went the umbrellas there.
And Rodney went high and tight on you.
Yeah,
with one of those lines.
Called out my toupee. And look,
wow.
Can you really tell that I have a toupee?
You know what, Dan? It really is natural.
Thank you.
It really is. And the whole thing was just, you're blowing all over the place, and you did a good job. You did a good job just holding down that fort.
Yeah, it's a street cred, though, Rich. That's the problem with the kids. They see you with an umbrella, and that's what I'm worried about.
You had one of those tournament type survive and advance type moments. Just survive and advance down the run.
Well, Michelle Tafoya goes out there without an umbrella, so that hurt our street cred right there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty tough, pretty painful.
But yeah, that was quite a game. On our pregame show yesterday, we were talking about what constitutes a successful season for Peyton Manning, and everybody said it's Super Bowl or bust. And the reason why, because we were all in agreement, is what else does Peyton have to do in the regular season, right? How many statistical yachts can he water ski behind? And we all just sort of never really put our finger on it. He's never thrown 7 touchdowns in a game. And it was ridiculous. Now, some of it was, just dumping it off, and the Ravens couldn't stop Demaryius Thomas, where he was just pirouetting all over the place and running away from everybody. But I just found it interesting where we're all spending a lot of time and then non-playing season here talking about how the read option is taking over the league, and here comes a drop-back guy and just torches it for almost a 50-burger himself. That was incredible.
But we overreact in the NFL more than any other sport because it's week to week. It's one game. You can consume it. You can, chew it up, spit it out. Are we overreacting more to the Broncos' performance or the Ravens' performance?
Well, I like to think I think it's going to be more of an overreaction I don't know. I think our reactions are pretty spot on, to be honest.
Yeah, but now you have people who are co-signing on the Broncos now going to the Super Bowl. If you didn't know that before, I don't think you should be able to base that off what you saw last night.
I'm at least I have the good fortune of having been on this program last week and saying that I thought that Von Miller's suspension wasn't going to hurt the Broncos because they've got a Mount Rushmore quarterback at the controls of an absurdly loaded offense. And we saw it last night where his first 2 touchdowns were to Julius Thomas, who I believe was the most picked up fantasy player during the game last night. And nobody thought the answer to that. We were spending our time also, how is he going to split the ball up between Wes Welker and Demaryius Thomas and Eric Decker? Well, he's going to share it with Andre Caldwell and Julius Thomas. That's how he's going to do it, And it really was breathtaking, the whole thing, especially since by middle third quarter you'd forgotten the Ravens let it have. It was just one of those snowballs that I know John Harbaugh's taken some hits for not challenging that clear drop that Wes Welker had.
Well, he blamed NBC that we didn't give them the replay. Now, where I was in our little compound there, we see what is given to the coaches. And we're reacting going, throw the challenge flag, throw the flag. They go over. You have somebody who's watching that. Their job is to watch that. And if they're trying to say that they only got like one camera angle, and this is the season opener, I don't think you're going to scrimp on the replay angle here on the opener. And Harbaugh saying that, I wish NBC would have shown us that.
Well, we'll find out if he's got an anti-NBC bias if he starts blasting the million-second quiz, Dan.
If he goes after Seacrest, it's on, because I will defend Seacrest.
Then I think it's on.
Yeah.
I really, not to put words in your mouth. But,
thank you.
I've spoken to Mariucci about this. I've always told Steve, Steve, if you ever go back to coaching, please let me help arrange your challenging apparatus. Let me handle how you do this.
Wouldn't it be neat if each team had man caves where you had a guy up there sitting in his man cave drinking beers and you just watching the replay?
The good news.
Press a button here. Yeah, you challenge that one. I'll have another beer, please.
Yeah. The good news is that even if he did properly challenge that, I think the Broncos would have kickstarted their role the next drive too. It just was. It was on the look at the bright side. At least the Orioles won 3-1, right? So they got the win.
Do you believe? And look, I don't have a source on it, but sniffing around on this. But the Ravens knew they weren't going to be at home. The Orioles weren't moving their date, so you would think that the NFL would say, "Where do you guys want to go since you're the defending Super Bowl champs?" Do you think there's a plausibility to that, Rich?
I don't know. I think they probably lost out to the TV lords.
But no, you know the Ravens are going to be on. So,
yeah, but you're not. NBC can't get a whatever the NFL views or the Ravens view as a slippery rock.
No, but they're going to get three. No, they know they can't pick Jacksonville. So you have to pick premium. Let's say Steelers, Bears, and Broncos were the options. Do you think that's a fair assessment if you're going to say to the Ravens, who Super Bowl champs normally get their own night?
That might be hindsight, in all honesty here, because the Ravens were up 17-14 at the half.
No. Look, they weren't the better team last night. I'm just saying that they may have chosen to go into Denver to get Peyton Manning early in a season as opposed to Peyton Manning late in a season. At least I would. If I have to face him, I want him now. I don't want him in October or November. Right.
Well, I don't know, because the guy they saw last year, everybody, because you talk about how the overreactions and stuff, because you have a week to talk about a game. With that game last year, the playoff game, we've had months to dissect that, and a lot of people think getting Peyton Manning in cold weather might be to their benefit based on his age and how he performed in the 0-degree temperature of that divisional playoff game.
I got to watch the game with Tony Dungy. Now imagine that, his former coach. And I'm watching with Rodney, who was all played against him, and just to get their perspective as ongoing dialogue was really fascinating, because Peyton, every time he'd go, hurry, 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 and then that meant snap the ball and one. And Tony's not saying it, Rodney is. He goes, Suggs knows the count. So so you're watching this chess game here, and in the second half, Rodney and Tony both realized it took Peyton one half to realize who these guys were on the Ravens, the new guys, and how to take advantage of them. It's fascinating to watch that through their eyes.
Well, part of the beauty of what I get to do and how lucky I am to do it is sitting amongst the guys that I work with. And I think I don't know if you have had Kurt on yet.
I just had him on. By the way, Kurt Warner said, where would he be on the depth chart with the Jets? Where do you think Kurt Warner said he'd be on the depth chart today with the Jets?
Normally he's quite humble about this stuff, but I'm sure he said number one.
He said he'd be starting.
Yeah, of course he would. Yeah.
Right now. And he's 3 years out of the game. I said, if I gave you a week, he goes, yeah. Yeah.
I know. I'm sure his phone is going to ring again. I'm sure his phone is ringing every single minute that he's been off of the field. But just being with him and Marshall Faulk, watching a game with him is like Rain Man. He knows exactly the number of toothpicks that is just dropped on the ground before a snap.
Yeah, he's one of the smartest football guys I've ever been around.
And so just being around these guys who also obviously know the quarterback too in question, it really is cool to have, sort of lift the hood up and watch the engine run and have somebody tell you what part is really moving best. It's pretty cool.
All right, Rich Eisen kickoff special. Matt Damon, Kevin Costner, Larry David re-airs tonight, midnight Eastern, 9 Pacific. The NFL Game Day morning, Sunday at 9 Eastern. The Rich Eisen podcast available. Download at richeisen.nfl.com and iTunes. A baby update. How is little Taylor Mattingly?
Baby update. Taylor Mattingly Eisen, TME, Too Much Eisen, is a week old today. And she already loves watching her Uncle Dan. I got to be honest.
Does Don Mattingly know you named your daughter?
He does.
He does.
He does. He does. When I threw out the first pitch this year that the announcer at Dodger Stadium says was better than you, I saw him before that.
You should have him sign your baby.
in not an indelible ink.
No, just a Sharpie, just on her forehead.
A Sharpie.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's somewhat indelible. I don't know. And then
no,
put her on. And
it's
then
adorable.
Put her on eBay?
Yeah. No, not.
No.
I'm just saying, just sign it.
Okay.
That's all.
No, yeah. I'll if I'm so fortunate, I'll get Charlie Steiner to get me on the field. I'll get our friend Chaz.
Charlie Steiner.
Yes, the voice of the Los Angeles Dodgers, one of them out here.
Okay.
But anyway, yes. So he does know, and I thank you and Sue for the beautiful arrangement you sent to the house.
Just trying to give back. That's all. Just trying to give back in the community.
To the community, you did.
Yeah.
And you brought joy to the house. So
I got something else coming out your way, Fred. I'm just saying that I got something coming out.
What?
It's a tease. There's something coming your way.
Stay tuned. I have to stay tuned.
After the break. You know Seacrest, how he makes it happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just letting you know that's just, Flower's just a nice little welcome home for the mother. All right.
Oh, the dad stuff is coming.
I got some stuff coming here. All right, I got to go.
All right.
Have fun this weekend.
Thank you.
And I'll talk to you next week.
All right.
All right, that's Rich Eisen. NFL Game Day morning, the Rich Eisen podcast. Little Taylor Mattingly. And born a week ago today.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.